It's a gorgeous Sunday morning here at the Dubai Autodrome, and we're ready for race 3, round 3 of the 2024 Formula Regional Middle East Championship. We have literally just gone past the half distance mark in the title battle, which means that with 7 races to go, teams and drivers are running out of chances to put up an impression. And with this fantastic battle for the title likely to continue between Tappinen, Barnard and Nile, and Martinius Stenzorn looking to make a quick and swift exit, hoping to bow out with the victory, there could be a lot of narratives to watch out for in this last race of the weekend. So let's find out who's who and who's going to be a major player in the last race of the weekend here in Dubai. As we enter the third weekend of the season, we switch to the Dubai Autodrome circuit in the heart of Motor City. It's a very different challenge for the drivers as the track celebrates 20 years of competition. So, who's who and how will they fare? At the top of the team standings is Race GP with championship leaders Tuukka Tappinen and Martinius Stenzorn still looking quick. But Zachary David will want to return to the podium this weekend, and Jessica Resquedo continues to show strong progress each round. PHM AIX have work to do to catch the leaders, in particular with Taylor Barnard having a tough outing last time. But he and teammates Tizanapol Nentefivazak, Liuruki and Brando Badua are quick when the opportunity is presented to them, so it could be a mini renaissance here in Dubai. Storming up from 5th to 3rd are Santalog, still in their maiden campaign in Formula Regional here in the Middle East. Teofil Nile is now up to speed and looking racy for more victories, but he now has 2 new teammates for the season, Noah Stromsted of Denmark and Jose Garcias of Mexico. The Pinnacle squad are still looking strong, thanks to the efforts of Mari Boya, but Alexander Abkasava has been quicker than many expected, Giovanni Mascio is very much improved from last year, and Finley Green is readapting to motorsport quite rapidly, so it's not just a one-man show. There's been a lot of head-scratching at the Mumbai Falcons, as the star prodigies Ugo Chukwu, James Wharton, Rafael Kamara and Arvid Lindblad have not exactly been singing from the hymn book of fortune, but the team has solid data and success on the Dubai Autodrome, so expect a turnaround imminently. Apparently, round 3 is the round where MP Motorsport will truly launch off the blocks, so for Nikhil Bora, Emo Fittipaldi Jr. and Bruno Del Pino, that would be more than a slight relief. They are joined from this weekend by British talent Isaac Braschi, who replaces Valerio Rinicella. XL Motorsport only took 2 weekends to grab points for the first time, so now that Noah Lyle and Yaroslav Veselaho have sorted out the early gremlins, it appears both drivers have the potential for more. With one pressure off comes another. How many points over the year can they now score? Meanwhile, Evans GP came so close to scoring they could almost taste the pain of it all. But clearly John Bennett and Costa Taparis have what it takes to get the job done. If only the issues coming into practice and qualifying can be ironed out, then you'll see the black and blue machines in fine form. We can only reiterate the progression that R&B Racing have made in relation to last season, as their speed is definitely better. Guy Ujia could well grab a point or 2 before season's end, and as for Wang Zhongwei, there's definitely more to do and to learn, but the team has the resolve to push for more. We're almost at the halfway point in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship, and there are several drivers in contention for the title. One of them is this man, Taylor Barnard for PHM AIX. Taylor, it's been an interesting start to the season. Round 1 was very strong. Round 2 had its problems. How are you feeling coming into Dubai?
I mean, we've had a bit of a reset. We've had a week off. Of course, round 2 was quite difficult, but you have them weekends, and we maximised and got the many points that we could. So, yeah, a little bit of a reset and coming into this weekend strong.
Now, the first round of the championship, you came in straight away, had some really strong pace in qualifying. You were able to convert it into 2 race victories. What was the feeling like at the start of a new season, coming back into Formula Regional? Was it a bit like sort of going into familiar territory once more?
Yeah, of course, I did the championship last year. The car was ready and set up perfectly, so hopefully we can come again after a week and have the same results here. But yeah, we'll do our best as a team and for sure come back on what happened in round 2.
Yeah, I want to talk about that just a little bit in terms of round 2, because essentially you had the pace to be there, but right from the opening race when you had the spin around, it became very difficult to sustain. What was your mindset from that point onwards?
Yeah, of course, I got taken out in the first race. Then from then on we had a few mechanical issues. I'm not sure if it's because of the crash or not, but we just had really bad luck, honestly, and yeah, the team have had a bit of a hard reset over the last week, and we'll try and do the best that we can in this round.
I mean, you were able to pull away from that weekend with a podium in the 3rd race. I mean, how important was that from your side psychologically to kind of get yourself back into that race-winning position again, get yourself back into the mode ready to come here?
I mean, actually, that race for me was quite difficult. I had 4 new tyres, and I went into that race expecting to win, honestly, because I had an advantage on tyres, but Again, we had a mechanical issue, so I was just trying to manage the race as best as I could, and I had to fight really, really hard just to finish P3. So, of course, to get a podium and some points to finish off the weekend was good, but not the result that we wanted.
So coming into Dubai, we have a few races left. If you manage to beat Tuka in every single race with you first and him second for all the remaining races, you can still beat him in the championship. So is that where the mindset focus is, or is it a little bit more complex now that there's a point deficit?
I mean, there's only 30 points. There's no point focusing on the championship with 9 rounds to go or 9 races to go. So I'll just focus on myself, do the best job that I can, and see how the championship goes.
And of course, this is all preparation for you looking into the Grand Prix paddock again in 2024. I know it's early days. Do we know whether it's going to be F3 or F2 yet? There is one seat available in both.
I can't say anything yet, but it's okay.
But you're smiling about it, so clearly, you know what the plan is for 2024. You should be hopefully in a very good position.
Yeah, I'm in a good position. Preparation is not as good as we would hope, but I'm very excited for what's happening.
Excellent. I know a lot of people back home are really rooting for you, so hopefully it's going to be a bit of a renaissance this weekend. Good luck for it.
Thank you.
One more bout here at the Dubai Autodrome as we get ourselves ready for the Formula Regional Middle East Championships, third race of the third round, and it is definitely going to be another nail-biter. On the pole position, Brazil's Rafael Camara. In very much an exciting renaissance for him. He gets the chance to showcase the speed he's had all season long, and finally, hopefully, the chance to put it on the results board where it actually counts. Hello everybody, Jake Sanson here with you once again as we continue this fabulous story of the Formula Regional Middle East Championship. We've just come off the back of an amazing race in the F4 UAE Championship, won by Nikita Bedrin in what is probably going to be his last ever F4 race, because obviously after this one he's going back home to Europe, where he's preparing for his future racing campaigns. He'll be back into the world of Formula 3, etc., etc. So you may never see him race in Formula 4 again, and to go and do that with a race victory is very impressive. We could have something very similar to that in this one if we have a particularly dramatic race, because Martinius Stenzorn is taking part in his last race of the campaign, starting in 8th position as he is, but he won't be finishing the season. He's going to be bowing out at the end of this race as well. So this could be the last time you ever see Martinius Stenzorn drive a Formula Regional car. So a couple of potential hallmark moments as we go into the last race of the weekend. Of course, he is likely to be replaced, from what we hear, by the Japanese driver Kanato Lee for the last 2 races. We will try and get a little bit of a handle on that information as soon as we get it. But it's definitely going to be a very intriguing scenario and a very exciting situation that we've had over the course of this particular weekend. Just a little bit of a note, almost under the radar. Originally, we were supposed to have 29 drivers taking part this weekend. Unfortunately, there is only 28. The one who has had to withdraw is the British driver Finlay Green. Didn't actually see him over the course of the weekend in the end, and I couldn't quite figure out why. It's because they actually withdrew from competition. Hopefully, that's not too much of an irreparable position, because he's acquitted himself very well, considering that he hadn't been racing for 5 years before he made his debut in Formula Regional at Yas Marina, and he's done a very good job to be there or thereabouts on pace. So hopefully he is doing okay, and we wish him all the best, and hopefully we'll see him back very soon. But let's talk title battles, because with Martinius Stenzorn about to disappear from it, we've got an interesting battle shaping up. That's the man who won yesterday's second race, Nikhil Bora, in the reverse grid battle. He gave MP Motorsport a much-needed shoot in the arm by taking victory. They really deserved it, and it's wonderful that he was able to come home and do so. That rockets MP Motorsport up the table as well. I think that puts them relatively close to the likes of Pinnacle and Santalok in terms of teams' points, so that definitely helps them out. But Tuka Tarpanen leads the championship, the Finnish driver, on 124 points to Martinius Stenzorn, who, of course, is going to duck out after this one on 100. Taylor Barnard has 98, so he's right there in the hunt for the battle. And then there's a bit of a gap back to Marty Boyer on 77 and to Zanapol Intrivivazak on 58. So Teja Vilnal's very difficult weekend has actually dropped him behind Taz Intrivivazak on 57. So it looks like it could be a head-to-head rather than an open championship battle. I mentioned in the F4 UAE race earlier on at the end that we've got a 4-way title fight. We have, of course, got a 3-way title fight, because Nikita Bedrin is not going to finish that season. So it'll be Freddie Slater, Kia Nakamura-Berta and Keanu Alazari that fights for the title. But that's for Yas Marina next week. We'll come back to that story. We are going to focus in on Formula Regional Middle East now with Rafael Kamara alongside Tukka Tapanen on the front row of the grid. You can just about make out there the two-time Formula One world champion and Indy 500 winner, Emerson Fittipaldi, is there with his son on the starting grid. There he is in the blue cap. An absolute legend, loves his motorsport, loves being out here, is very grateful for every opportunity that he and Emo Jr. are getting in the world of motor racing. They don't take anything for granted, that family, even though he is a two-time Formula One world champion and an IndyCar legend, as well as an Indy 500 winner. They just do not have any ounce of arrogance or status or pomposity, none of that. It's a wonderful, wonderful family. Never before has a Formula One world champion offered me a coffee at an airport just because I happened to be standing nearby, other than Emerson Fittipaldi. A wonderful, wonderful bloke, and great to see that young Emo Jr. is following in his footsteps, and hopefully he's going to get a very nice race to finish off his weekend. It's been a very tough campaign for him, to be fair, and hopefully he'll be able to finish strong. Now let's go through the grid. Rafael Kamara and Tukka Tapanen on the front row of the starting grid. You can see Rafael Kamara to the right of your screen for the Mumbai Falcons, and to the left of your screen you can see the Race GP driver Tukka Tapanen, who is a rookie, don't forget, in Formula Regional, and is right up there at the sharp end of the field and leading the championship after 2 wins, 2 seconds, 2 fourths, a 6th and a 7th. So very good points all the way through, 124 in total, and he has 26 more than Taylor Barnard, who arguably should be there or thereabouts, could even be leading the championship had he not been pitched into a spin in race 1 at Yas Marina round 2 by Teofil Nall. Would almost certainly have scored big points in both of those 2 races had it not been for that. There is Noah Stromsted, one of the new boys in Santalot Racing this weekend. He's basically stepped in to fill the shoes of Pedro Claro, the Brazilian, whilst in the other car, the number 14, that was being driven by Mateo De Palo, that is now being driven by Jose Garfias of Mexico. So they have worked their way forward. Behind Kamara and Tapanen on the front row of the grid, on row 2, Taylor Barnard is there in 3rd position, so he's right up for the battle alongside the Spaniard Mari Boya, who of course has been racing in Formula 3 and Eurocup 3 over the course of 2023. Brando Badua and Taz Intervivazak, who got a pair of podiums yesterday, 2nd for Intervivazak, 3rd for Brando Badua. They line up on the 3rd row of the grid, so there's a lot of firepower for PHM AIX this particular weekend. It's not just a one-man show for Taylor Barnard. Great to see that both Taz and Brando have been able to score decent points as well. There's the 4th man in the team. That's Liu Ruqi, the Chinese driver, who's going to have a lot of work to do, to be fair, as he starts this race from outside the top 20. But all 4 cars hoping to have a very solid run. And for those wondering, in the Teams Championship, if you've got 4 cars, that's going to make it a little bit unfair for the other teams, isn't it? Well, no, the Teams Championship works very differently to the Drivers' Championship in that the team has to nominate the 2 drivers in their team that are going to be scoring the points. And only those 2 drivers will score points for the team over the course of the weekend. The drivers will score points for themselves individually, of course, but in the Teams Championship, you have to nominate which 2 drivers each weekend, and you can change it each weekend if you wish to, depending on who you feel is going to have the best chance to score points. They nominate the 2 drivers that are going to be scoring points in the Teams Championship. So that is how that one works out. There is Mari Boya, lining up 4th on the grid in front of Brando Badua and Taz Intervivazak. On the 4th row of the grid, Arvid Lindblad finally had a decent run in qualifying 2. Didn't so much have a good one in Q1, but in Q2, he finds himself starting 7th on the grid for race 3, so very much better for him. Alongside Martinius Stenzorn, who will be going off 8th position on the grid for what I've already mentioned could be his last ever race in Formula Regional. So it could be very interesting. 9th on the grid for Bruno Del Pino, the Eurocup 3 rookie champion last year for MP Motorsport. He lines up there in 9th position on the grid, and alongside him is the Australian James Wharton. As the Emirate flag flies above the circuit, it's a wonderful day here in Dubai. The temperature is coming up to about 27, 28 degrees Celsius. It's going to reach a high of about 30 today from what we are told by the weather forecast. But it is absolutely sensational to see just how much excitement the racing has brought to us this particular weekend. 11th on the grid is the race 2 winner. That is Nikhil Bora, who represents India, is based in the United States and lives in Singapore. He has more passports than a Hollywood movie star. Absolutely amazing. Noah Stromsted in 12th position on the starting grid. Not bad considering this is his first weekend in the championship. The Danish talent there on the 12th position of the grid. Jessica Esquedo lining up 13th. That's much better for the Mexican. Hopefully he's going to be able to convert that into some points Teofil Nal really struggled in qualifying too. They just couldn't get a decent lap together, and so he lines up 14th on the grid. When I say they couldn't get a decent lap time together, he found a 1:55.33 compared to Rafael Kamara on a 1:54.4. So that is 9/10 of a second difference, and that puts him 14th on the grid. That's how close it is in Formula Regional these days. Absolutely astonishing. 15th on the grid, Zachary David, having difficulties this weekend. He certainly had opportunity and he's had pace, but the racecraft and the fortune definitely haven't come his way. So he finds himself 15th position. There is the tallest building in the world you just saw, the Burj Khalifa, which is very much one of the most exciting places to visit in the city of Dubai. So that'll be an interesting one, I'm sure, for drivers in their week off. One or two of them might well want to see the views from the top. Noah Lyle, 16th position on the starting grid, the Australian alongside Zachary David on the 8th row of the grid. 17th for Ugo Chukwu, a long way back. They didn't get a decent qualifying lap in either, unfortunately. So really is going to be a very tough situation for him. 18th on the grid for Jose Garfias, the Mexican driver on the 9th row of the grid beside Ugo Chukwu, and then Costa Taparis and John Bennett, the two Evans GP cars, will line up together on the 10th row of the starting grid. The cars that look very similar to the Yazheat Academy colours from a distance. But they will be there in position. Isaac Barashi, the man who's replaced Valerio Vinicella at MP Motorsport for this latter half of the season. He is there in 21st on the grid for MP alongside Leo Key. And then Emerson Fittipaldi Jr., 23rd on the grid alongside Giovanni Mascio, who ended up having that rather clumsy moment yesterday and ended up retiring, unfortunately. Alexander Abgasava, his pinnacle teammate, 25th on the grid. And then Yaroslav Vezalaho of Ukraine, he's 26th on the starting grid. And then the two R&B racing drivers from China, Gao Yujia and Wang Shongwei, they are together on the back of the grid. Off we go then for the formation lap. And it really is going to be a sensational competition for all of these exciting battles on the grid. Do keep the chatter coming. Interesting that we seem to be talking more about the ongoings in Formula 1 than Formula Regional. There's a lot more to come. That is Sofia Kotala, who is very much one of the biggest supporters in the Tuka Tarpanen camp. She's a fantastic entrepreneur. She's going to be climbing Everest next year. She competed in the FIA Karting European and World Championships over the last couple of years, despite not starting karting until the age of 40. And she was actually within a second of the decent competitors. Absolutely incredible athlete, and she's a ballroom dancing champion as well. She's been loving life in Dubai, supporting Tuka Tarpanen and the Race GP team. And she would be very, very embarrassed for me to give her all of those amazing compliments. But with people like that in the paddock, you are very much blessed indeed. And having raced with Tuka Tarpanen as a driver coach in the past, she obviously takes very big interest in Tuka's racing exploits. So Rafael Kamara and Tuka Tarpanen, front row of the grid. Let's talk a little bit more about Rafael Kamara, because he's been under the radar for most of this season, which is very unfortunate because he's definitely got more talent than the results on the championship table have actually been able to demonstrate. Rafael Kamara is a brilliant racer. He's been that way since his karting days. Almost became world karting champion back in 2019 when he was at Al-Harma. I felt he had the kart underneath him to get the job done. Just didn't have the luck and the fortune to make it work out. He's part of the Ferrari Young Drivers Academy, same as Tuka, but Rafael has had a much tougher route, and the consistency has always been much harder to find. But he's obviously been able to pull out a decent qualifying lap out of the bag to put himself pole position for race 3. So it really will be absolutely sensational as we continue in fantastic fashion. So we'll see how it continues in fine style. And Rafael Kamara, from pole position, could well turn this into a victory, which would only be, ironically, the second win of the year for a Mumbai Falcon after their dominant performance last year with the Italian Andrea Kimi Antonelli. They've really struggled this year. The only victory that Mumbai Falcons have taken so far has been the man who drives the Red Bull graphics, Arvid Lindblad, who got the reverse grid win in race 2 at the first round of the championship at Yas Marina. They're going back there next week, of course, so we could see more from the Mumbai Falcons, but their best chance now of getting a victory for the second time this year is Rafael Kamara in pole position. So Kamara, Tarpanen, Barnard, Boyer, Badua, Interfivazak, Lindblad, Stenzorn, Delpino and Wharton. Then Bora, Stromsted, Karashkedo, Teofil Nal. There is Emma Fittipaldi Jr. Oh, sorry, no, that's Nikhil Bora, the man who won yesterday's second race. He goes off 11th on the grid for this one. Behind him is Stromsted, then Karashkedo, Teofil Nal, Zachary David, Noah Lyle, Ugo Mugachukwu, Jose Garfias, Costa Taparis, John Bennett, Isaac Barashi, Liuraki, Emerson Fittipaldi Jr., Giovanni Mascio, Alex Abkasava, Yaroslav Azalaho, and then Gao Yuchia and Wang Shengwei. As there is Ugo Mugachukwu getting into his grid slot. This is going to be a long race for him from 17th on the grid. Man who carries the very plain silver colours on his helmet. It was accidental, but it's become a bit of a homage to the great Andretti name, which has been in the news this week for all the wrong reasons. I, for one, very much support their future endeavours. I hope we'll see them in Formula One someday. But the race is about to get under starters' orders. The green flag flies at the back of the grid. Are we going to have another spectacle worthy of talking about all the way to Yas Marina next week? Race 3, round 3, Formula Regional Middle East is about to get underway. Let's race at Dubai Autodrome. Good initial launch from Kamara. Looks like Tarpanen's going to creep alongside him. Kamara's going to have to work hard to beat him to the first corner now. Tarpanen's got that inside edge. Mari Boyer's got a flyer from third as well. He's up into third position. He could well get past Kamara in turn 1. Kamara's got to go the long way if he wants to lead this race. They're going to be close, but Tarpanen's going to edge him out, surely. Kamara's going to keep his foot in, and Tarpanen's going to take the lead. But Kamara and Boyer are right on his tail. Rafael Kamara still trying to take the lead from Tarpanen, but it's not going to happen. Taylor Barnard slots into fourth position behind them, and that is Tazanapol into Fivazak and Brandon Badua trying to squirt forward as well. So excellent starts. Tarpanen in particular has hit the front, so Tukka the Tiger has made an absolutely brilliant launch in front of Rafael Kamara. Kamara's still trying to take him on as they go round the far side, up on the hairpin and onto the back straight. It's Tarpanen that leads, but he's had a big twitch as he comes off the corner, so Kamara's got him against the ropes. Down the back straight, Rafael Kamara will be absolutely determined to get past Tukka Tarpanen. He will not want to let him go back. Off on the racetrack goes Noah Lyle, manages to get back on. Kamara side by side, going the long way round with Tarpanen, and it looks like Barnard's trying to take on Boyer, and has got through. Kamara leads up on the inside of Tukka Tarpanen. Great run from Rafael Kamara. The Brazilian has absolutely made it work. Don't forget that these two live together in Maranello in the Ferrari Academy, so this is going to be a fascinating battle as they duel with each other. Taylor Barnard into third position. He's one to watch for. Here comes Tarpanen, absolutely up against the ropes with Rafael Kamara. Kamara still hungry on the inside line. Is Tarpanen going to have enough grip on the outside to hold this? No, he's not. So he goes slow in, fast out, tries to get another approach on Kamara, as there goes the absolutely flying Martinia Stenzorn, dueling away with James Wharton. The Australian trying to cut back in across as Arvid Lindblad has lost a bit of ground. That is the MP Motorsport that's working its way forward. That, I believe, is Nikhil Bora. And here comes Tarpanen trying to take on Kamara one more time. Boyer is there in fourth position, but Barnard is close in on both of them. Taylor Barnard needs to keep his wits about him here. He may be able to pick up something. Tarpanen is squeezed by Kamara as the two teammates in the Fivazak and Badua go wheel to wheel in turn 1. And that is Ugachukwu, squeezed out by Noah Lyle. Excellent racing, but it's getting very tight, very technical in the S's now, as Kamara leads Tarpanen and Barnard. Fourth place for Boyer. And then Fivazak and Badua have been dueling away with each other. I think that's Fivazak now in front of Badua, as Tarpanen has another crack at Rafael Kamara. He got a good run off the corner. Can he dive into the hairpin? They're both going to drift forward. Barnard's going to come in on both of them. Off the road goes Kamara. Barnard not quite able to get the throttle application, so Tarpanen leads. Here comes Kamara. Watch for Taylor Barnard in third. Hold your breath, boys. Barnard's going to take them both. Taylor Barnard has to bail out of it in the end. Tarpanen now cuts in on Kamara, but Barnard will get them both if he gets the throttle. He has to back out again. Kamara and Tarpanen side by side, and Barnard will get both. both of them. What a move from Taylor Barnard. Kamara's still there to the inside though, as Tarpanen now has Boyer on the inside. Barnard goes from first to fourth. What is going on? Amazing racing. Now Boyer side by side with Tarpanen. Barnard's to his inside as well. Kamara hits the front once more. Tarpanen there in second position. Now Tarpanen goes long, hoping he's got grip. Barnard to the inside of Boyer. Almost side by side with Tarpanen. Now he is. And Boyer trying to cut back in on the inside of Barnard, who goes the long way round. Gets on the curb. Fights back to get on the inside of Tarpanen. And here comes Taz into Fuvazak. He's now going to get the move into fourth position on the inside of Mari Boyer as Barnard goes out wide. Squeezed by Tarpanen. Rafael Kamara leads. What a brilliant battle this is, and this is only into lap 3. Tarpanen tries to edge Barnard to the pit wall. It's Kamara, Tarpanen, Barnard. It's Badua who's actually in fourth, not in Fuvazak. So it's Brandon Badua who's moved up to fourth position as Barnard and Tarpanen continue their duel, not just for the race, but for the title. Goodness me, sorry. Coughing my way around these corners. No surprises, just how dramatic it is. That's my first faux pas. Hopefully there's not too many more, but Tarpanen leading Barnard and Badua, then Boyer, Stenson into Fuvazak and Del Pino. Right, I've got my breath back now, folks. I have a feeling there's going to be another terrific battle to come. Boyer still trying to take on Brando Badua after their little moment. This is an absolutely sensational race going on, and it's only just got going. We're only on lap 3. Kamara leads, Tarpanen, Barnard, Brando Badua is actually closing in on his teammate now. Well, this could be awkward. Here comes the MP of Del Pino. Charges in on Taz in the Fuvazak. In the Fuvazak goes out wide. He almost goes into the side of the MP. And look at Arvid Lindblad. He's going to take advantage. He gets both of them, does he? Del Pino's there. Oh! Del Pino and Lindblad almost bang wheels. Lindblad's got to be careful on the exit. This is the incumbent Formula 3 driver battling away with Bruno Del Pino and Taz in the Fuvazak. And watch out for James Wharton. He wants a piece of this squabble as well. Here they come again. Very close. Still they come through. Lindblad on the far side of Del Pino. Here comes into Fuvazak, having a look for another great run. Can't quite make it. Wharton to the inside of it, the Fuvazak. That's going to get shut down quite considerably. Still they go. Del Pino, Lindblad. Big dive coming in from Zachary David. Thinking about the move there on James Wharton. And finally, it settles down into some kind of rhythm. It took 3 laps, but what brilliant 3 laps they were. And Tarpanen is now sizing up Rafael Kamara again. Barnard's just got to stay hungry in third ahead of Badua. Then Boyer, then Stenzel. Del Pino now 7th in front of Lindblad. In the Fuvazak down to 9th, and Wharton is 10th. Then it's Zachary David, Nigel Bora, Noah Stromsted, then Ugachukwu, Niall, Lyle, Karashkado, Bennett, Tabaris, Liu, Fittipaldi and Machio. And yet again, the driving standards in Formula Regional completely in a different league compared to F4. I'm not saying that the driving talent is less, but so far, have we had a safety car in Formula Regional in the first 3 laps of competition at Dubai? No, we have not. Whether we'll get one later on or not, that's a different story, but certainly the first 2 races went green checkered. Are we going to get 3 green checkers from Formula Regional Middle East? Lindblad's going for Del Pino. Right in behind him. He got the slipstream. Del Pino was trying to shake him off. But Lindblad's got good pace, good speed. He's also got good aggression. Can he maximise it? Slow in, fast out. Is it going to be enough? Lindblad's going to go to the far side of Del Pino. He's got to leave him a decent amount of room. Lindblad goes wide, but he'll still be alongside. Del Pino trying to squeeze. No, you don't, says Arvid Lindblad. Thank you very much. I'll take the place. Good racecraft from Lindblad. Del Pino's still just about alongside him, though. Still to your right, still to your right. He's actually pulling slightly in front. Trying to cut across, and he's got him. Bruno Del Pino. Terrific driving from the Spaniard. Now he's got to cut back across the line to stop Lindblad getting back in front. And Taz in the Fuvazak has lost ground to James Wharton now, so Wharton's got in front. There is Ugachukwu. He's dealing with Noah Stromsted. Not a bad debut for the Dane, as Zachary David launches to the inside of the Fuvazak. So they continue their little tussle as they go into the final hairpin. But now it is still a decent run for Kamara up in front. Oh, this is going to be into Fuvazak taking on Zachary David. And Lindblad's going to dive in on Del Pino. Oh, what a move. excellent from Lindblad. That is the kind of overtaking move that has put him in Helmut Marko's ballpark. Absolutely terrific. What a sensational move from Lindblad. That came from a long way back. If ever you're going to get the modern-day Gilles Villeneuve into turn one at Dijon-Prenois, that was absolutely it. Lindblad came from a fair way back there to go for Del Pino. Stood on it, and that's unsettled the Spaniard. Now he's in the clutches of James Wharton. So Arvid Lindblad up to P7 with an absolute catamaran of an overtake. Now Kamara in front of Tuukka Tappinen. Tappinen's going to launch in. Wow, I really thought he was going to come in. He still has a chance on the exit. Rafael Kamara having to go a bit defensive. Tuukka Tappinen, ever the tiger, ever ready to pounce. He's going to get an opportunity here. He's going to go long. He'll go deep on the brakes. He'll have a chance. Slow in, fast out, tries to cut back. He's got good acceleration off the turn. He's going to go level. Can Tappinen outcut Kamara to the braking zone? Here he comes. Side by side. Inches between their wheels as Tappinen tries to go the long way round. Kamara actually nudges him as they go through the hairpin. Oh my goodness. I would absolutely be sweating buckets if I was in that race GP pit wall right now. Tuukka Tappinen trying to take on Rafael Kamara, and watch out boys, because Taylor Barnard is still there in third, and he will make mincemeat of you two if you mess this up. The Bulldog is chasing down the leading pair of Ferrari youngsters, Kamara and Tuukka Tappinen. They go side by side. Tappinen round the long way. Kamara won't let him have it. Tappinen trying to keep his foot in. No chance. Tuukka Tappinen trying again. Round on the far side. Formula Regional is absolutely brilliant. And these guys are absolutely on it here in Dubai. The third race of the third round. Tappinen should be finding this fairly straightforward, but he just isn't. And into the pits to retire, I think, comes Noah Stromstedt. So Stromstedt has had an issue somewhere out on the course. So this is interesting. Now, two cars have been reported to the stewards, I'm told. That's Jesse Carrasquedo and Costa Tapares for not respecting the instruction at turn one. That's probably going to be to do with running wide on the far side of the corner and keeping your foot in, and that is Noah Stromstedt coming into the pits to retire. Let's have a look at a replay. Oh, that's how it happened. So Stromstedt with damage to the car, no doubt, and that was Ugo Chikwu and Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. trying to take avoiding action. So bitter disappointment for Noah Stromstedt, who's made a very admirable debut. Taylor Barnard still trying to get that car to turn in the way he wants it to. Third position would be good. Not quite where he wants to be, but it would still be valuable points. And if he stays close enough to the Kamara, Tappinen badinage, he might just find himself with a chance to get more. So Tappinen needing to reset, regroup, come back for another go. Absolutely terrific. Still, we continue this incredible duel as Ugo Chikwu now tries to take on Teofil Nal. So Ugo Chikwu and Nal, Ugo Chikwu runs out of racetrack, but he still kept his foot in. So he just ran all the way along the red rumble strip there to be alongside Teofil Nal, eventually back down. Now he's going to be angry. Now he's going to be ruthless. He will want to deal with Teofil Nal as quickly and as sharply as possible. Right, if that's how we're going to play it, fine. I'll play dirty if you want to. Round the far side. And he's going to have an opportunity. Can Teofil Nal give him the space? He does. And Ugo Chikwu gets through. Lovely overtake from the American. Excellent work. The boy from New York City has done the business on Teofil Nal with a sweet move. Excellent driving. I think the McLaren team will be very happy with their young boy. That was great racecraft on the outside of turn one. And into the pits comes one of the race GP cars. It's Zachary David. Zachary David is coming in to retire. The man who was on the podium in Yas Marina in race 2 of round 1. Zachary David is parking it in pit lane. What a shame. Very talented young man, the man who represents Malta. I'm afraid it's all gone wrong for him. He's come in to he changes the front wing. Here we go. The battle is on between teammates at Evans GP. Costa Tapares trying to take on John Bennett, and then Ludoki might get an opportunity. There's Mascio going wheel to wheel with Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. Fittipaldi Jr. on the inside of Mascio. Go for the move. It might just happen. He actually nudges Mascio, and Mascio might have damage here. Mascio comes back in on Fittipaldi Jr. They both drift wide. There's a chance now for Jose Garfias to pick up some moves. So that's Liu getting his moment there on Costa Tapares, but Fittipaldi Jr. does emerge in front of Giovanni Mascio. Now around the far side comes Garfias, a lock-up, and Garfias gets the move anyway. What a move from Garfias, round the outside in the hairpin on Giovanni Mascio. That is an almost impossible overtake, and yet Garfias has just made it look like child's play. Now back towards the front, Stenzel still eyeing up Boyer, then it's Lindblad in 7th, Wharton, Del Pino, Bora, and then Taz in the Vivazak in 11th in front of Noah Lyle and Ugo Chukwu, 13th place for the American. There is Liuriki having a great squabble with Costa Tapares. Tapares fancies his chances here, but he bails out of the corner. Liuriki actually makes the mistake. Careful. Oh, goodness, I thought they were going to come to contact then. The way that that radius was shutting down, I thought they were just going to catch rear and front quarter. They just got away with it. Liuriki just in front of Costa Tapares, and then here comes Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. Bit of a lock-up from him through the right-hander. And then comes the 14 of the Santalon racing car of Jose Garfias of Mexico. A truly international Formula Regional Middle East Championship this. So still they continue. So a wonderful race still in the offing here in the Formula Regional Middle East Championship. There have been moments, there have been incidents, but nothing that could bring out a safety car yet. Hopefully we're going to get a safety car free weekend in Formula Regional Middle East. That would be a very impressive achievement. As Tapares goes wheel to wheel with Liuriki again. But Liu holds on to it. Tapares might want something on the exit. He's not quite able to maximise and capitalise on it. Great racing at the front, great racing in the midfield, great racing at the back. That is Formula Regional all over. And just because you're not in the points at this stage, boys, you still want to go for this battle. You still want to take the maximum out of it, because even though the race win might not be on today, in the future it could well be. And these are where you learn the great racecraft manoeuvres that will get you there. Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. sizing up a move on Tapares. Can't quite commit to it. You go through the hairpin, tighten up the radius. It's a very strange corner, that one, because you go in hot, then you go out wide, then you tuck back in again to get the fastest line through. Because it's up camber as well. It's not an easy corner to get right. Down the drop, past the Radisson Blue, and on to the main straight once again. And now we've got Ugo Chukwu battling away with Noah Lyle. This is for 13th place. Noah Lyle, the Australian's going for it. Don't forget, this is still the first ever campaign for XL Motorsport in Formula Regional. Ugo Chukwu on the curb. Noah Lyle continues that run. He commits. He raced against Ugo Chukwu last year in F4. They didn't really spend too much time battling each other, but now Noah Lyle has improved massively. He gets to run with the American. Bit of a moment for Ugo Chukwu. Something's not right with the car by the look of it. The back end stepped out massively. I wonder if he's got some damage. Has he got a slow puncture coming? Because he suddenly just lost the back end. That is not Ugo Chukwu style driving at all. I wonder if there's an issue. Taylor Barnard all over the back of Noah Lyle down the back straight. And watch out, because you might have the number 8 in the move there as well. Oh no, sorry, that's the number 2. That's Jesse Cadascado. Taylor Barnard trying his best to take on Noah Lyle. Big lock up again from Ugo Chukwu, and someone's off the road in front. Who's gone off? That's one of the Pinnacles with a puncture. Now, who was just up the road from them? I wonder, is that Mari Boyer in trouble? Has Mari Boyer from 5th position got a puncture? We can really do with having a look at what the situation is with that, because that looked to me like a Pinnacle. It might have been an MP, but it might have been a Pinnacle. Well, whatever it is, that car has suddenly fallen from the frame. We'll have to pick that up again in a minute, as Taylor Barnard has dealt with Noah Lyle and has got through. Next is Jesse Cadascado. Cadascado fancies his chances on the Australian. Ugo Chukwu's got about. It is Mari Boyer. I was right. Mari Boyer out of the race from what was P5. And there, in my opinion, goes any chance he might have had of fighting for the title. Very unfortunate indeed for the Spaniard. But after the collision he had at Yas Marina with Arvid Lindblad and that puncture, Mari Boyer is out. and I'm afraid out of contention as well, realistically. So now Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. goes to battle with Jose Garfias and Costa Taparis. Behind them is Giovanni Mascio. Still battles all the way through this field, and still nothing yet that would bring out a safety car. We've lost Stromsted, Zachary David, and now Mari Boya. Very unfortunate for the Spaniard. So, of course, he's looking to return to Formula 3 this coming season, Mari Boya. He's going to be one of the favourites for the championship as far as I'm concerned. Battle going on at PHM-AAX. This is Taylor Barnard losing out to Brando Badua. Badua's in front. Badua's moved up to third. Well, that is interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Taylor Barnard is going to start sweating now. Fourth position, and he's just lost out to his teammate, Brando Badua, who is looking to get 2 podiums from this weekend, which is impressive considering that one of them was in the reverse grid race. So Brando Badua, the son of the Ferrari and Minardi Formula 1 driver Luca Badua in years gone by. Brando is doing a terrific job here and looking good for his second podium of the weekend. Always really pleasant to talk to Luca Badua in the weekend about Brando's progress. He's a very humble chap, a very quiet, very shy character, Luca Badua. And Brando is very much similar to that. But Brando is absolutely letting his driving on the track do the talking now. Look at Kamara. He's just dropped Tarpanen. Excellent work from Rafael Kamara. Not easy when Tucker is the man in form. And the Brazilian has just been superb. So Rafael Kamara has just disappeared from Tucker Tarpanen. He's certainly on the march to take at least one win this year in Mumbai Falcons colours. So the race battle continues up to the first corner. This is Jesse Cadascado trying to take on Noah Lyle. Still the two of them are pretty much at stalemate. But excellent racing on the Dubai Autodrome. This is a very underrated race circuit, you know. At the end of this year, it would have had 20 years of motorsport. I can remember when it was first launched. I was very excited about motor racing in the Middle East for the first time, even as a teenager. And it's wonderful to see what's happened over the last 20 years. And this championship is just adding to the brilliant glory of it all. But it's almost all been here. I think the only thing that hasn't really been here over the years is basically Formula 1. And you can argue that it has been here with the historic Grand Prix that takes place every December on the circuit here. That's an event you really want to put into your calendar. If you want to see proper Formula 1 cars with V8s, V10s, V12s, you want to come to the historic revival at the end of every year. There's Emerson Fittipaldi Jr. taking on Costa Taparis again. Still, these two are absolutely glued to each other. They are absolutely joined at the hip, these two, like an accident in a science classroom. Here we go. Jesse Cadascado working very hard still to keep close to Noah Lyle. Down in the braking zone. Up to the hairpin. No change really, but it's about edging your competitor into a mistake, trying to get him to make the error. Up the hill they come again. And Noah Lyle really finding things particularly tough dealing with Jesse Cadascado at the moment. The Mexican had a good starting position, 13th place, but it's not been easy for him to make the progress he wanted to. So Cadascado still finding a lot to do out here on the circuit at Dubai. And down the main straight, Noah Lyle is able to match him. They're very similar on straight line speed, which is where he's not really able to gain a lot of ground. So what does this do to the championship fight? Well, that's obviously a very important point. Rafael Kamara is set to take 25 points, and that's going to put him on 77, which is going to tie him on points with Mari Boya, who is currently 4th in the standings. So that's how important this opportunity is for Rafael Kamara, and he's going to take full advantage of it. Tazzy the Vuvuzak is currently down and out in 10th position at the moment, so he's only looking to score 1 point. That's going to put him on 59. Niall is not even in the points, don't forget. He's in 12th position at the moment, so he's going to remain on 57. So this is essentially going to be Rafael Kamara moving into 4th place in the Drivers' Championship if he stays where he is. Brando Badua is slowly climbing his way up the ranks. He's on 27 after yesterday's podium, and another podium is going to put him up to 42. So that's going to be the same amount of points as Ugo Ugachukwu. This is very close stuff behind the championship contenders. And it's not really clear what the championship order is going to be by the time we reach the end of race 3 2 weeks from now, back here on the Dubai Autodrome again. Big late braking from Luduki. Can he go right the way round the outside of John Bennett? Hasn't quite got enough traction on the turn to finish that move off. Kadashkado still putting pressure on Noah Lyle, and still no safety car. Tukatapanen will be frustrated. I haven't had a single safety car all weekend and not an opportunity to get back up the order. He's had a second, a seventh, and he's looking for another second place. But still, a very solid race weekend at the office. So the battle rages on, and Jesse Kadashkado loses the back of the car. Well, that was a wild ride for Jesse Kadashkado out of the final turn, as he just pirouettes away. Very odd to lose your car in the middle of the apex like that. Here comes Luduki now on John Bennett, trying to go the long way round. Is he going to manage that? John Bennett's going to try. Oh, lovely from Luduki. That is a very hard overtake to do, but he's managed to make it work. So everyone back home in China can be very happy about that one. Luduki making sure that there are 4 PHM AIX drivers that can really hack the racecraft here. He may have been caught out in qualifying, but put him on the racetrack with another driver, wheel to wheel, and he can handle it. Now, Jesse Kadashkado has not moved from the final corner. Let's see how he did it. Just looks to me, he's gone quite deep into the corner. There was a little puff of brake dust. Look, the car's going now. Snaps away. Now, how much of that is a driver error for Jesse Kadashkado, and how much of that is a problem with the car? Because there might have been a little electronic glitch there. Now, it's wide off the racetrack at the final corner. Is that going to be enough for a safety car? Because if it is, then we're suddenly going to have a very... Yes, safety car! Safety car's been called! Right, safety car with 2 minutes to go. And I'm afraid to say that unless they can move that car in 1 lap, we're going to finish under safety car. Well, Jesse Kadashkado's spin right at the end of the race there. And it's going to bunch up the pack, but are we going to have enough time for a 1-lap dash to the flag? I don't know if we are. That's in a very awkward position. They might be able to just hook a line on it and tow it out the way. And Lindblad is stopping. Arvid Lindblad is slowing down. Arvid Lindblad is breaking down out of this race. This man has had absolutely no luck at all in 2024. The man who dominated the Macau F4 Invitational race last November parks it at the final turn. Lindblad loses a fine 5th position. That is bitter disappointment for the British driver for Red Bull. Definitely does not deserve to be sat on the sidelines like that. Has driven a great race. But unfortunately, it comes to nothing for Lindblad. Kadashkado out, Lindblad out. And now they've got 2 cars to recover. And with it being minimal that we were going to have a problem restarting this race with a 1-lap dash, I think it's fair to say we're not going to get one now. Well, you've got a feel for the Mumbai Falcons driver, Arvid Lindblad, in Red Bull colours. He's out. And I'm afraid any chance that he might have had of making a decent impression on this title fight in Formula Regional Middle East is now well and truly put to sleep. So, big problems. I'm not sure whether that was a mechanical problem for him or whether he had a slow puncture or what it might have been. Let's have a look and see what's happened. There's Kadashkado losing it, as he just suddenly does the dance of death on the final turn. That chap who's been filming on that final corner has got an amazing video for social media. But Jesse Kadashkado will not want to see this one again. Back end just gets loose, and around he goes. Now, the marshals have already moved Lindblad's car to a safe vantage point. So Lindblad's car is already gone. The marshals are doing their best to move Kadashkado as quickly as possible. We might just get 1-lap dash here. We might just get a 1-lap sprint. The safety car is going as fast as it can to try and get onto the final lap. Right, looking at the time we've got left, on my timing screen it says we've got a minute. If the safety car can cross the line with this lap still being active, we should have time to go 1 more lap around with the safety car, and then we'll get the last lap as a 1-lap dash. So the safety car driver is doing everything he can to try and keep this race under a green flag finish. We almost had a complete green checkered weekend, but the safety car has caught the field, bunched them up. It should cross the line with about 30 seconds to go. And it does. Oh, but the last lap board is out. The last lap board is being shown. Well, no, the timing screen is updated. There wasn't 30 seconds to go. There was 30 seconds over. So we are going to finish under safety car, folks. I do apologise for getting your hopes up. My timing screen was not correct. So unfortunately, we are going to end this race under safety car. We're not going to get the one-lap dash we wanted. It's unfortunate, but it's motorsport. As there is Arvid Lindblad, stood by his car. Bitter disappointment for him. Well, there we go. And that means, of course, that Rafael Camara is going to take his first win of the 2024 motorsport campaign. He'll be delighted with that. That's going to put him level with Marty Boyer on points in joint fourth in the championship. And of course, on countback, it's going to be Marty Boyer that's in... it is going to be Rafael Camara that's in fourth place. Because on countback, he has a win and Marty Boyer does not. He has 3 podiums, but he doesn't have a win. So Rafael Camara now knows he's going to be a race winner. Second place will be Tukka Tapanen. Poor Arvid Lindblad. Absolutely fed up. What does he have to do to catch a break in 2024? Well, certainly he's not going to catch one in Formula Regional, that's for sure. This was obviously always meant to be a preparation for his Formula 3 campaign that he's going to get started next month. But it doesn't change the fact that he'll be bitterly, bitterly disappointed. Meanwhile, in the championship battle, it's another 6-point swing because Tukka Tapanen's going to have 18 points for this and Taylor Barnard's going to have 12. So that means that heading to the next round of the championship, Tukka Tapanen's bacon has well and truly been saved to a certain extent. The gap was 26 points. It's now going to be 32 again. So they will go out of the weekend pretty much how they came into it. But Rafael Camara, the Brazilian superstar, absolutely deserves this. He's worked so hard. He's had very little luck over the course of the year so far. The Mumbai Falcons deserve it too. After their brilliant year last year, they're now finally going to get a win again. It is Rafael Camara who wins in fantastic style ahead of Tukka Tapanen and Brando Badoa in third. Taylor Barnard is fourth. From James Wharton, Martinius Stenzon, Bruno Del Pino, Nikhil Bora, Tazan de Vivazak and Ugo Chukwu in the points. It may not be the way you wanted it to end. It isn't the way I wanted it to end either. But the winner is a very, very deserving young man. Rafael Camara of Brazil. Fabulous talent. An amazing young racing driver. Part of the Ferrari Young Driver Academy. He'll be in Formula Regional Europe this year for Prema. And the 18-year-old from Recife in Brazil can be very happy indeed with what he's done here. Excellent performance. He took 2 wins in Formula Regional Europe last year, and for me, he is the championship favourite going into this season. So it's good for him to finally get the monkey off his back in the Middle East and pick up a victory. Watch out for Rafael Camara in 2024. He's definitely going to be big news. And he and Tukka Tapanen are both part of the Ferrari Academy, of course. So Rafael Camara will be very eager to go and celebrate with his team. He's actually pulled well clear of everybody. He's quite happy to come back on a very fast in-lap by comparison to everybody else. He wants to just get back and celebrate. It's always a little bit flat when you finish under safety car. What a shame. But I tell you what, we've definitely had a very worthy winner in Rafael Camara. And he definitely deserves this one. That moves him up to 4th in the championship, level on points with Boyer. 17 ahead of Inthra Vivazak and 20 ahead of Taylor Barnard. So he's right up there in the fight for best of the rest. And of course, this will become the fight for 3rd in the championship when Martinius Stenzon returns to Europe at the end of this race. So an excellent run. And it's still going to be Tapanen versus Barnard for the championship fight. As we head to Yas Marina next week, the gap between them 32 points provisionally. But after a race like this, yet again, The championship battle is on yet again. The fight is going to be electrifyingly good, and we cannot wait to see how this battle continues. Rafael Kamara, your winner from Tukka Tarpanen and Brando Badua. It really will be an exciting battle as we continue our great run here in Formula Regional Middle East. The next round of the championship, of course, is next week on the Yas Marina circuit. As you watch the highlights from a thrilling encounter, I'll head to the podium, ready to greet our 3 drivers home. So on we go then for the third and final podium of Formula Regional Middle East 2024 here at round 3 at the Dubai Autodrome, and we've got 3 very worthy drivers to welcome onto the rostrum. In third position for Italy, Brando Badua. Double podium for the PHM AIX driver this weekend, and a very, very impressive run from him. Second position for Finland, Tuukka Tappanen. The championship leader continues on his way, and of course he has also taken the rookie victory by coming home in second place. But your race winner for Brazil, Rafael Camara! The Ferrari young driver has driven a beautiful race and has moved his way into joint fourth in the championship in one fell swoop. It's my honour to invite Fang Yuan from Top Speed, who will present the trophies to our drivers. Firstly, in third for Italy and PHM AIX, Brando Badua! Secondly, for Finland and Race GP, Tuukka Tappanen! And to the winner for Brazil and Mumbai Falcons, Rafael Camara! The Rookie Cup victory also goes to Tuukka Tappanen of Finland. A fabulous podium. And now we've got a really exciting race trio coming up next week at Yas Marina. Do join us if you can. There are going to be 3 very exciting races to watch on the Yas Marina circuit down the road in Abu Dhabi, where we'll see a title battle continue between Taylor Barnard and Tuukka Tappanen, and a fabulous scrap with everybody else for the best of the rest honours. Our drivers on the podium together, and now they can celebrate in style as our Formula Regional drivers will, here in Dubai, once more get busy with the fizzy! Congratulations to Brando Badua, Tuukka Tappanen, and your race winner, Rafael Camara! There's more great action to come from Formula Regional Middle East next week at Yas Marina, but that's 3 rounds of our 5-round championship done. A very big thank you to all of you who are watched here at Dubai Autodrome. Asian Le Mans Series is up next, of course, but we will see you back in F4 UAE and Formula Regional Middle East next week at Yas Marina in Abu Dhabi. From Jake Sanson, it's bye for now.